I purposely put some fingerprints on my piano to show you some of the ways you can get fingerprints off. Here's a piece of lunch meat that I rubbed my fingers in, and I'm going to put it all over my piano. Here goes. As I was cleaning this piano, I noticed how dirty the keys are. Yikes, we got to do something about this. As a bonus, I want to show you how to clean your keys. We'll get to that in the end after we clean up these fingerprints first on the case. But look, you can see the grain of the ivory because of how dirty these are. You shouldn't see that. You really shouldn't. I'm going to take some Meguiar's Auto Ultimate Quick Detailer. I'm going to spray it on a microfiber rag and wipe those prints right off. I know you're wondering, is this safe to use on my piano? I guarantee you this product is safe to use on most any pianos. No, on any pianos. This quick detailer is fine. I asked my friend who's a refinisher, and this is what he recommended to me, and I've used it since. Now, on the fallboard here, this is a shiny finish. You can wipe in any direction. It's polyester. This is satin up here. On the satin finish up there, you want to be sure to wipe with the grain. On the high gloss polyester, you can wipe in any direction. You don't want to be doing this too often. You know, maybe twice, 3 times a year. Otherwise, just use soft cloths, dusters, Swiffer dusters, that type of thing to just keep the dust off it. You don't want to be rubbing too hard either. You can overdo this, but it does a great job of taking off the prints. Just look at that. It's just beautiful. Most often you'll want to just use a damp microfiber rag. Now let's get to these keys. To clean the keys, we're going to want to take off the fallboard, the key slip, and the cheek block so that we can get all the way back underneath where this fallboard goes. Remove the 2 screws on either end that go into the cheek blocks. They're usually fairly bulky screws, like so. We're going to remove the key slip just by putting our hands on either end and pulling up. I'm going to lift this out, set it right above the end of the sharps, lift this up, take it off, lift this end up, take off the cheek block, then carefully so you don't bump it, pull it away. Alright, now I'm going to get in here, clean off these ivories with the same product, the Meguiar's Quick Detailer. You could also use a damp rag. You don't need too much moisture here, just enough to lubricate the rag and get the grime off. It's really not hard at all. Anyone can do this. Okay, so here we are, cleaning these ivories up close. Just rub the grime right off. You think, who on earth played this piano that had such dirty hands? Well, somehow it gets on there. It was probably you. Or me. You can pull the key up slightly and hold it while you're scrubbing. Gives it something to brace against. You can see how removing the key slip and the fallboard makes this job a lot better. You can do it with the fallboard on, but it'll be very hard to scrub in this area right here. You just don't have the room. Some pianos you say, well, I don't have a Steinway, it's a little bit different. The idea is still the same, except you just need to lift that fallboard directly off, remove the cheek block screws, and then the key slip. It'll become apparent once you get into it, and you can't damage anything at that point for the most part. Just make sure you have a screwdriver that's the right size for the screw that you're lifting off.
Some pianos like Yamaha and others, they actually have a thumb screw. It's just a latch and then you can just release it with your thumb. Now these are genuine ivory, as I said. If you had plastic keys, you might consider you could just spray something carefully on the keys and be, oh, there's wood under there. You know, it's not that much moisture to make a lasting effect on the fit of the keys. You should be just fine. But that being said, always safer to spray on the rag first. If you're wondering, why does this piano rebuilder have such an old, damaged Steinway piano? Well, truth be told, this isn't mine. This is on loan from the university, who was waiting to have the money to rebuild it, and they said I could store it and use it in the meantime. But now we've decided to just put it back in service on campus. So I'm getting it ready for pickup. I'll be very sad to see it go. You'll often see some grime on the sharp keys. They can be wiped off in the same way, and it's usually right up here towards the back of the key. These sharps are, and why am I calling them sharps and not flats? Piano technicians typically will call the black notes sharps and the white notes naturals. Obviously, if you're playing in the key of C sharp major or F sharp major, you know, that doesn't hold. For the fronts of the keys, you can rub them this way. And let's see how we did. Much wider and brighter. None of that grime is on the keyboard. All right, a success.